Hello my friends, I now invite you to enjoy this classic Dr. Groovy lesson. Howdy y'all, this is Dr. Groovy, Scott Grove of GroovyMusicLessons.com, here today to do some clicky stuff. Yeah, I know I've done clicky videos before, but this one's different. Again, this one's for people who are different, like myself, who actually enjoy country music, and possibly even some Latin music, and anything other than the heavy stuff. So for anybody who enjoys something other or something different, this is for you guys. Okay, what we're going to introduce here are clicks and percussion to simply add to your arrangements, to your band, to your recording, to just your solo stuff. Whatever actually works for you. I'm just simply going to go through what will be basic for some people and will be revolutionary for people who have never tried it. So if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. It can only improve on your total musical vocabulary. Okay, today I'm using, because some people want to know every now and then, the 1978 Ibanez Iceman. Yes, the first year they actually changed the name to Iceman. These particular guitars were around since 1975 in 3 different variations. Always the brown tobacco sunburst. One had this triple coil pickup. One had dual coil pickups, one here and one here. And then one had just the triple coil pickup, but it could slide back and forth like on an old Gibson grabber bass from about the same time period back in the mid-70s. So again, about 1978, like I said, the name Iceman was introduced, and a fellow by the guy whose Axis was and who signed it, Steve Miller, started using these because he just enjoyed having the rotary switch and all the different tones that come out of this. If you want to check it out further, just check out the review I did. Simply put in Scott Grove IC210. That's the model number after they changed it to Iceman. I know I could have put a link for you, but I may or may not. Probably not. Make you do your own work. Again, that's the IC, stands for Iceman, believe it or not, 210. Okay. So anyway, these clicky things, what am I talking about? Okay, these are just simple percussion things. Again, drummers can't do everything unless they're using a drum machine. Then they can, if they play along with one. Then it has all the little sounds in it that are cool. But then again, guitar playing has lots of clicks in it. I'm not using them as ghost notes this time, meaning very slow version of where it's taking place of a note. It's just kind of a false note. It's not that. It is simply what it sounds like is this in its simplest form. No, not just that, but that will actually honestly be part of it. This goes much deeper, and it goes into simulating castanets. If you don't know what it is, hey, Google it. It's like, you're here to teach us. Well, some things you should actually know. And especially if you're a musician, you should already know what a castanet is. If you don't, you might want to bone up a little bit. He said bone up. Okay. Us country folks, meaning myself and any other country people watching, we use these all the time. If you're not using them yet, this will be a very cool video for you. Again, you can look here on YouTube. Go for a band called Brooks and Dunn. They no longer exist anymore. The song is called Neon Moon. Okay, this is a cowboy cha-cha if you actually want to do a dance to it. So it is a cha-cha. So that would mean the rhythm of the song, not the guitar part, but the actual rhythm of the song is one of those. Okay, so it's just got that kind of a feel to it. What the guitar actually does which is very interesting, and it works, is these clickies that I'm talking about. This will be a perfect example. So most of those are just clicks. It's only an affirmation of the key we're in, A, when I hit. Everything else is just clicks. So for anybody out there who ever wants to know how to play Neon Moon, of course I have the entire lessons on my Brooks and Dunn artist series thing, and it shows you every single lick on this song and many others, as do all my artist series lessons, which you have to buy, of course. Not everything's free, people. Okay, but I'll give you this much of it. Again, so you're kind of in a Latin-y type of thing. Again, it's actually a cowboy cha-cha for the country line dance folks out there. And this is giving you... So you're doing A, then doing the 4th fret, 2nd fret on the D. Just back and forth. 4, 2, 4. So you get down, then up, down, then up, down, up, then down, up, down. For the picking hand, I do a variation sometimes. Add a couple more. It's just a matter of getting used to playing rhythms without going like this. This here is the country version of rock players going. We're doing that stuff. Okay, so this is just, yeah, that stuff is great, but it's for that kind of music. This is the way it's done in this kind of music here. It's more of a controlled thing instead of where you would get, sorry to jump out of context here, but like a rock and roll hoochie coo. See, okay, so that whole thing. So you got the, you got, or you might have Funk 49. So those are percussive things for the rock players. Again, everything's clean. Hopefully you get that. So turn on the distortion, motherfucker. No, it's not for you guys. Okay, again, for the people who are willing to accept and learn different styles of music. Again, this kind of cowboy cha-cha. Okay, so that's why the song was in A. And again, you saw that I put the pinky covering the E and B string at the 5th fret, and that just kind of defines the note or the key you're in or the chord you're playing at the time, because yes, it does switch chords, and I'll show you exactly how it does it in this song, just for reference sake, so you have something to play along with. Again, Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn. Just simply follow it here on YouTube, and you can play right along with this and get what I'm showing you. So I just moved it from A up to the 7th fret and then did the D thing. Because it doesn't want to go way up here for the way they recorded it and get all, they just didn't want that high piercing thing going on. So they actually opted for this. Okay, for some of you who don't know, just play an A, move it up to the B section, and simply put your middle finger on the 5th string, I'm sorry, the 5th fret, 2nd string, 4th string on the 6th fret. That gives you your E. Then you hit the whole chord. Okay, for the percussive things, you're doing it on the B string, and you're doing the same kind of a palm muting. If you don't have your hand back far enough, you're just gonna get. Okay, so get it back here, so you're actually hearing the note without the note ringing. Defeats the whole purpose. So again, have your hand back far enough that it's not going. Okay, again, palm muting. Use your palm, meaning this. I don't know why they call it palm muting when you don't use your palm, but it's actually the side of your hand muting. Get it close to the bridge, but just enough so you can still hear the notes. But okay, so again. Okay, so that's what is going on during that song. Why don't I just play it here and play with it? Because YouTube has some hair up their ass where they always fault me for some kind of copyright infringements if I play the actual song and play along with it, whereas any other guitar teacher in the world can get away with it and just call it a learning thing and they don't pull it. But with me, they pull it. So that's why you do not get such luxuries on my channel, because yeah, they're dicks. Okay, same thing. Okay, we're beyond that song now, but I'm going to use basically the same type of song, which is a cha-cha, in order to show you the castanet part I was talking about. Okay, it's like, why would I use such a thing? Again, this helps out. Again, the last song, it's in the song that way, and a lot of songs have a lot of that clicky stuff going on, and it's just simply a rhythm thing. The drummer can't do everything, but then again, some things only sound as great as this does on a guitar, and the drummer can't emulate the way a guitar sounds when it's doing, because you have notes there. It's not just clicks, there's notes that are just slightly palm muted. I'm trying to do the little air quotes, but holding the pick you end up with one finger, you know. Diddle diddle. Okay. Okay, castanets are going to be arpeggiated clicks, which means what? One note after the other. Okay, so an arpeggio, even though you're thinking, no, quit it. An arpeggio in its simplest form is playing a chord, one note at a time, one note after the other. That is actually an arpeggio, like I said, in its simplest form. So now we're actually going to arpeggiated clicks. Okay, and to do the castanet sound, it depends on if you want the notes in there or not. Again, if you want the notes in there, palm mute so you can get the notes. If you don't want the notes there and you want it to sound more castanet-y and be simply clicks without the notes, you know what to do. That's right, just move your hand forward a little bit. The notes will go away, but the clicks will remain. Okay, so I'm going to use like an F chord, but move it up to A again. So you're starting at the 5th fret and finish up your A chord. It looks like an F. Okay, and yes, the shape of the chords, even if you don't do them for the notes, you actually do them just for the clicks. Okay, so that would be more of a castanet sound. It depends on where you put it, how it's going to sound, even though you're not using notes again. that might get annoying. So you might want to use different chords to get lower sounds. So just check around if you're going to do the palm muted thing, but only for the clicks where it's this way, and find out where your best sounding percussive things is, or are. Sorry for the English faux pas. But then again, if you have a rhythm pickup, it will sound drastically different if you have it on there than if you do on your treble pickup, or if you have both on. Experiment with both, because some work great with one pickup but not with another. Okay, so you're going to get very different tones using different pickup settings, or if you have knobs dialed back, you're going to lose your percussive attack, if you have, especially if you have your tone knob rolled off. Sorry, it sounds like shit, but hey, remember to turn your tone knob up all the way. Get your best sound. There's my best sound. You just find where your best place is for your palm. Okay, again, I'm using it there just because I'm in A, and if I do happen to move my hand back a little bit, at least I'm in a chord position that actually makes sense, so that it won't sound like I just picked an arpeggiated mess of wrong notes. Because every now and then you'll do what I did earlier. I'm sure you've heard it. You actually miss muting the note, and the note comes out. Okay, like the high E string just came out, but it was an A. So you might as well do something, no matter if it's an A here, and you decide that sounds better than up there. You don't want the real high clickies. Still try to play the same chords that are going on. You're like, what the hell use is this? If you play it in a real band situation or along with some backing tracks, you'll notice a huge difference. Let's put a song behind it, doesn't matter. We'll just do whatever the heck comes to mind. Let's do A, G. Yeah, let's do that, hell. Let's just do A and G. Especially 50s and 60s, there were a lot of music like even Kiss. We did one called Then She Kissed Me. It was actually called Then He Kissed Me. It's got a lot of castanet work in it too, if you ever want to look that up. Either version. Two little wooden things, and Mexican people tend to wear them on their fingers. It's like a 4-note thing. Okay, so if they're playing an actual song, now check it out. Okay, so the second guitarist could be doing that, or simply so you can see how that can actually work for you. Last one I'm going to show you, then you'll basically have an idea. I'm going to show you, yeah, just the one more. The rest of them you can get on your own since you get the idea of how it's going. Of course, there's always just the thing of laying your hand across the strings, and don't just lay a finger across there, because you might end up putting it on the 12th fret and going. I know it almost sounds like Kiss. Not Kiss the band, Tom Jones or Prince. See, there's your clicks again. Okay, it doesn't always have to be metal. Okay, I'm going to put on just a good old country track. These are actually called, for you people who just don't understand these things, hired or tried to audition so many drummers And whenever we would audition drummers, a bunch of rock people would come around thinking they're getting ready to get an easy gig by playing country. They're just going to make some money for a little while till they can go get in a real band. And we would never set up a drum kit for them. We would just tell them to do some stroke rolls on the table. So bring in your sticks, just, okay, here you go, sit down. Or on the, you know, the cushion on the couch they're sitting on if they need some bounce off their drumsticks. Say, just play straight stroke rolls. If they say, what's that? Then you send them home. Say, next. That's this. I know I've told some people in other videos, but those people don't watch these videos, so. See. No, that's not wipeout. That is a train beat, as some people not in the know would call it in the country. But those are stroke rolls. If they can't play that, you don't get the job, because 90% of the music entails that you do that. Okay, so for those kind of songs, if you want to look up something, look up a song by John Michael Montgomery called Sold, or the Grundy County Auction. It's actually just called Sold, S-O-L-D. Is a great one, and I use this a lot on there. Here's the drum beat. Okay, I've actually got it slowed down a little bit just to let you hear. Like, is that really it? Yeah, that's really it. It makes a huge difference, and people do notice it, and you're contributing something. And this is great when choruses come along and everybody's sitting there clapping and nothing else is going on other than the drummer's just hitting the bass drum going boom boom, or maybe a couple hi-hat things like you were just hearing there, but just add in, find out where at it sounds good, not down here. It might be where it sounds good to you. If it is, of course use it there. I like to do it right up here. It's just where the body meets the neck, and I put all my fingers, 4 of them on there, so I don't get any kind of harmonic by going. You don't want that, so put as many fingers as you can, spread them around. You know, the more you move it around, find this place you like it, look down at your neck and say, hey, that's where I like it. Put it there every time whenever there's some kind of break there. Maybe change strings. Okay, you could just go. It sounds great. It's just like wood blocks. It's just another kind of percussion, is all it is. You're like, God dang, you're going to do a 20+ minute video on that? You bet. A lot of you folks just don't know how important this stuff actually is until you get out there and actually use it. Change strings. I'm going to tell you right now, that doesn't come through very well through the PA, through the entire mix, and you got 4 people singing harmonies and a kick drum going and hi-hats going. You got to get something in there that's going to bite through, not annoy people with the frequencies, but actually bite through and come somewhere between the vocals and the 16 to 20K sizzle of those hi-hats being amplified too. So this rides around that 1K area, if you don't know what I'm talking about as far as equalizers. Hey, buy an equalizer and mess with one, use one. You'll notice that different instruments need to have different frequencies boosted or cut on each one to allow each instrument to be heard, but without being louder. If they take up certain frequency spaces, they will be heard very well, very distinct, very separated from the other instruments, and it doesn't require volume boosting. So anyway, that's in another video. as are everything. Every question anybody asks me is already actually a video done about it, just nobody does a search. You're like, there he goes, he's being an asshole again. No, I'm just saying search. I've done 800 videos. Search. I've done it probably. So do search before you ask. Again, work on different patterns, listen to different patterns. Okay? I even use this for stupid sound effects, you know, people drinking. You know? See? It don't sound like it on here. It does sound like it on a Strat though. But if the Strat's on its bridge pickup only. And I know drinking songs generally aren't there for rock and rollers, and you would never have a place for it. I'm not putting down rock and roll. I'm just simply giving a country lesson. And again, in Spanish music, castanets. Put the chords with it. Okay. Take a good look. Shows you the arpeggiation and then some picking around, how it's done. If you need that really spelled out for you, that's D string, then arpeggiate straight through, D, G, A, D, G, B, A. Okay, so you got all the way down arpeggiated. Then pick up on the high E string just after you pick down it. Then B, G, so that's B up, G down, B up. Okay? And I'm only letting the high E string ring out one time for that, or you can let the whole chord ring out if you want. And then only do your clickies on half of it. Okay, so that's part of it. Okay, so you'll get used to it. Again, horse gallops. It's country, it's used all the time. Again, with the stroke rolls, doing the train thing. Yes, if you slow it down. That's a gallop. It's not a trot, it's not a whatever. Yes, horses have different rhythms with each gallop or trot or canter or an actual run. Country people know this. If you've ever ridden a horse, there are at least probably half a dozen different rhythms that a horse makes when it does different speeds. Again, like I said, whether it's a canter or a full break or a run, or if it's a trot or what have you. So again, that's all that is. Try to go like the horse. Is only one way, but you can do so many different ways. You can do a G string and then do the E and B as unison as much as you can. So the G string, then E and B. Okay, then you decide whether you want to do it. Try to sound like one string, or if you want to go. Okay, so it depends on the song. It could just be fuller if you want to do the rock and roll thing. Just realize that it's different than, you know, of course, everything's different from one style of music to the other. You could add in the low note. And in context, that would be. the other way. Find out what sounds good. Maybe it's the G and the E string. Maybe. So as dumb of a lesson as that will probably seem to 99% of you, yes, I'll leave the thumbs down up because, again, certain people will just like to put a thumbs down because they only signed up to your channel in order to put a thumbs down on every video. For some reason, they get off on that. Okay, so be it. Again, Scott Grove here, GroovyMusicLessons.com. Dr. Groovy. Again, with the groovy old Ibanez, Steve Miller axe. And then he came out with his own artist model not too long after that, which ended up being, just a double cutaway. And as their typical artist model, and about 80 switches on it, he did use these. This is here's the axe he used for the whole entire Fly Like an Eagle album. So that's the only pickup on that album. So try your little percussive things. Again, you can make them sound partly like a guitar by palm muting and let some of the notes through, or strictly use just the clickies. When you're, instead of putting your hand above your head, you feel stupid doing that live for some reason, or you have major pitch stains and you want to dink around and diddle down there and actually add to the show instead of detract from it by picking your nose or something during that part, or getting a drink or something else. Actually make those segments worthwhile. And again, on those cowboy cha-chas, again, Neon Moon and so many more that are like that, they're in the original recordings. So number one, go listen to that song. Again, so many other songs. Listen for the clicks. They're going to be there, and they're going to be the guitar player doing it. Just practice along with any song. Anything you do at home. Again, it doesn't matter if you're in a band or not. Those things are just handy. And so many songs, especially, again, calypso music, again, old Spanish music, and different cha-chas and different things like that. Again, a lot of Spanish music, you'll hear that in the older stuff. And a lot of cha-chas again. Tons. Just listen to as many as you can, listen for them, and get more click ideas from those guys. Okay? You'll just hear different rhythms that you maybe haven't thought of, or I haven't thought of, and that you can find useful for whatever your situation is. Okay? You guys take care, and talk to you soon. Bye.